Hey guys, hope you're all well. Okay, if you remember in the last video I done on stripping the Enfield wheels out, I briefly showed you a bike in here under a cover and said I was going to do a little video on it. That's what we're about to do, by the way. But I didn't know too much about this model of bike. I didn't know a great deal about the company. Did the older company, I know a bit about that. But there's been a lot of controversy with this company in recent times. And yeah, I'm sure some of you are aware of it when I spin this camera around and you'll see what bike it is. But yeah, it's had a few ups and downs over time. And it has recently changed hands again. Hopefully, the new owner will sort this thing out. Anyway, this is a friend's bike. It's not mine. Unless I get very lucky with the lottery this week, I'm going to have to give this bike back later on today. Yeah, I brought this bike over this morning, only about 5 miles. I've transported a lot of bikes in my van. I'll say I've come 5 miles with this and I was absolutely terrified. Listening to every bump and creak coming from the back of my van with this thing sat there, because its rarity and its value just terrifies me. But heyo, I've done it, we've borrowed it, so I can share it with you guys. Let's spin round and have a look. Look at that. We'll have a good crawl round it, looking at all the little nooks and crannies and nuts and bolts and washers and everything else. That is a 2020 V4 Norton, 1200cc, Norton SS I should say. And yes, it is truly stunning. In my opinion. I know this style of bike is not everybody's cup of tea, but when you start looking at all the little individual bits around this bike, it is absolutely stunning. The design of it, apart from one thing, I can pick fault with one thing, which I'll show you in a minute. I shouldn't say pick fault, should I? One thing that niggles me a little bit about this bike, and it is a real trivial thing, but it just niggles me. Anyway, so yeah, I've borrowed this off a friend of mine. This bike is going up for auction. I believe it's done about 8 miles since new. It lives in one of them environment bubbles in his garage, so it's dry and sort of, yeah, it sits on an optimizer, so the battery's good. But yeah, this bike lives in a bubble in his garage. Doesn't go anywhere, doesn't do anything. And he's come to think that that's a great shame. He's not really going to use it, so it is going up for auction. Like I say, unless I win the lottery, we'll just watch the auction end and some lucky person win it. So yeah, look at it. Absolutely stunning. Everything is carbon fibre. None of that sticky stuff here. No carbon fibre wrap. This is the real deal. All the fixings, look, with Norton on them. Don't know how well this GoPro's focusing. All that, every panel on this is carbon fibre. Every single panel. Öhlins, of course. Brembo, of course. We have Öhlins on the rear as well. It's just dripping in money. It really is. But everything, all the brackets, the detailing, everything is just absolutely stunning. The frame's an actual work of art. Aluminium, obviously. Even the little caps here are all in carbon fibre, look. Everything seems to be billet. No press steel here. No Suzuki or Kawasaki pressed rusty steel on this bike. Even the footrests, look at them. Look how truly stunning all that is. It is absolutely beautiful. The quality of everything. Well, not quite everything. We'll touch on that in a minute. But just to look at, it really is a thing of beauty. Let's quickly go through the bit that niggles me slightly. So this bike, only 2 exist in this colour in the world, apparently. Normally they're done in black or like a chrome finish, which I think the chrome one, my only personal opinion, I think it looks a bit tacky. But black, yes. Obviously this carbon fibre, it's just stunning. But the thing that niggles me, this is JPS colouring apparently, is this stripe. So you got all these stripes, all these slash cut bits here. I just wished they'd put it up this tank line a little bit, probably to about there, then slash cut it, or maybe took it all the way to the end and terminated it there. It just looks a bit like this panel's been replaced at some point and they haven't put the paint or the sticker on yet. I don't know, I could be wrong. That's what it looks like to me, because you know, you got 2 separate panels. I think, yeah, it would have looked better if it continued into this panel. Just my opinion. I know it's only trivial and silly, but I keep looking at that bit and think I wish they'd like carried on that up there. Yeah. I'm just gonna walk around it and show you all the little bits. I just love all these little fixings with the Norton on them. It is beautiful. Let's check the mirrors out again. All carbon fibre, like these blades. I don't know if we're going to have enough light around here. We should do. I'll tell you what. Why don't I open my blinds? That might help, mightn't it? It's not every day you get a 40-odd thousand pound motorcycle in your dirty, grimy, dusty shed. Yeah, it is quite terrifying having it here, to be honest with you, but I did want to do a little video on it because it's beautiful, I've got to say. What we got around this side then? I mean, look at the yokes. They're designed just stunning. I love it. Everything about it. You got a flat screen TV in there, so you can watch your favourite soaps while you're riding. No, we'll switch it on in a minute and you'll see all that. Obviously, they really like putting the Norton brand absolutely everywhere. And look at that swing arm. Look at that. Isn't that just beautiful? Absolutely beautiful. Front sprocket guard as well. Yeah, this ain't no cast rubbish. This is definitely all machined. Everything. So there's a bit of weirdness about this bike. Like I say, this is one of only two in this colour in the world, apparently, from what I'm led to believe. There was supposed to have been 200 of these coming out of Norton, and from what I can see, only 50 made it out. This is where it gets a bit weird. So there's supposed to have been 200, only 50 made it out, and this bike that we've got in here now is number 98. How's that work? My little guess is they probably had 100, maybe they had the 200 all lined up. And I know for a fact they had a lot of problems with these. So maybe they picked the best out the lines to get them to the customers who had been waiting for quite a long time with their £44,000. I think that's how much they were. So my friend was getting quite worried about it as he put a hefty deposit on it, and he heard that Norton was in big trouble, and he ended up in the office with the CEO of Norton having heated discussions about receiving his bike. I won't go into depth, but yeah, as you can see, he got it in the end. But it's very strange how there's 250 made it out and this is number 98. I don't quite get it. That's my guess though, because I've got a sheet over there with all the problems that these had. Not necessarily this one, the problems I think they had sort of in production. I don't know 100% how it all worked out, but yeah, there was some problems that got spotted. I think these were all brought to light by the new owner of Norton. So maybe the ones that were left in the factory, they're the ones that had all the problems. I'm not 100% sure, but we'll have a look at that sheet now. Take a very careful seat. Don't fall on it. Put my eyes on. I won't go through everything in here because obviously you'll find a lot of information about what happened, and a lot of you are probably aware what happened with Norton. I believe the previous CEO was basically a crook. Just my thoughts. And left a complete trail of destruction behind him and a lot of unhappy people. Yeah, so there seems to be a lot of problems with customers and bikes not receiving them and things like that, or problems that never got sorted, defects. The list just goes on and on and on with the trail of destruction that bloke left. Obviously it went into liquidation, and I'm guessing that a lot of these problems never got resolved, or probably still in legal battles to this day. But let's hope that the guy who owns it now gets it all up and running. I believe the company now is in Solihull, which is not actually that far away from here. So, like I say, I'm not 100% sure how this worked, whether the bikes that got released had these defects or what, whether some was sorted out. I don't really know. Like I say, if you want to know like major details, go and have a look if you're interested. So this apparently has 35 defects. I'm not saying it's this one exactly, but this is how some of it went. Oil hose fail, and it's got the issue and the effect. So it's got oil hose fail, oil on rear wheel. That's the effect of the fail. This, I'm just reading what it's got here. Leaking fuel tank. Fuel leak resulting in fire risk. So as you can see, I'm giving you the issue and the effect that could happen. Crank rotor disengagement. Engine fails to run. Fuel hose perishing. Fuel leak resulting in fire risk. Wow. Debris in oil. Engine seizing. Gears sheared, resulting in engine seizing. Gearbox locking up, I should say. You have to bear with me, the print is absolutely terrible. Frame adjuster torque. If frame mounts too tight, excessive load on frame. ABS module collaboration. ABS operation not tuned to full potential. Valve guide excessive wear. Engine seizing or blowing. Idle gear bearing failure. Again, engine seizing. I was going to start this. I don't know if I'll bother. That'd be just my luck. I'll start it up and there'll be a big clatter and things will come popping out the engine casings. Idle gear bearing failure. Did I say that one? Anti-backlash cam gear springs failed. The result, engine seizing or blowing. Frame well fatigue resistance. Validation of frame strength in accordance with AWSD 8.14. Rear eccentric hub bearing fit, loose rear wheel or ABS failure. Just when you want a loose rear wheel. Damaged ignition wiring loom, bike fails to start. You'd hope it wouldn't start if it's got all the above going on. Might save it. Tail light connector patch lead, whatever that is. Tail light failure. False neutral gear reading. The bike appears to be in neutral but is actually in gear. I'll be careful of that before I start it up. Oil filter torque incorrect. I think a lot of this is what the new CEO and his group have been through. I could be wrong, but obviously they're picking up the pieces of a complete crook who basically virtually destroyed the company. So hopefully, yes, they can put it right. Where was we? Oh, we don't know if it'll talk. Indicator signal telltale, indicator not working, oil pressure release valve fail, engine seizing or blowing. Battery connector positive earthing, short circuit on ECU bracket resulting in fire risk. Sprag needle roller bearing, bearing fail resulting in breakdown. Timing chain rubber strip wear, part excessive wear. Oil pump wear, oil pump poor operation, rear caliper carrier, ABS pickup reading fault resulting in ABS failure. Throttle jamming, brilliant. Just what you want on something that's got a claimed 214 horsepower. Your throttle jamming open. Yeah, tip top that. Brake line melting. Damage to brake line resulting in brake failure. Gear engagement with side stand down. Rider to travel with stand down resulting in contact with the floor when turning left. Oh, I see. So it will actually, because a lot of modern bikes, you leave the stand down, as soon as you bang them into gear, boom, the engine cuts out. So apparently this sometimes doesn't want to do that, which will allow you to go off with your side stand down, which is not always a good thing. Rear brake operation, rear brake poor operation. Rear brake caliper anti-rotation stud boss thread pitch. Oh. Anti-rotation stud comes loose, resulting in rear brake failure. Oh my. Thermostat rating too high. Engine runs hot. Sounds like my Honda. Valve train failure due to lack of oil flow to tappets. Engine seizing or blowing. RTV sealant on oil scavenger pump pipe. RTV blocking oil feed pipe resulting in loss of oil pressure leading to engine seizure. It's got a lot of faults, or others had a lot of faults. Like I say, I'm not sure if this is aimed at the bikes that actually got to customers. I'm not 100% sure how all this is working. But it's got an awful lot of problems that could result in just destroying your engine, which I can only gather you'd have to go and remortgage your house to be able to fix it. Rear view camera. Yes, it's got a rear view camera. It's got a rear view camera, so you can watch the police just disappear into the distance. Rear view camera flickering image, poor visibility of the rear camera view. Swing arm cracks. Now you expect things like this on some really old bikes, you know, your old Nortons or BSAs and Triumphs, little silly things going wrong like that due to its age and stuff and the manufacturing processes back then. But you don't expect things like that to be happening on such a high value bike that's got immense power, with things like that could possibly fail on you. That is quite terrifying. Swing arm cracks, impairs structural integrity of the swing arm. Wow, there's a lot of these are listed as recommended action. A lot of them are listed as an overcheck, whatever that is, and there's 20 of these, which you can well imagine should basically be a recall. So saying, with that stating it's a recall, obviously bikes went out with these defects, all 35 of them. 5 of them are a service action. I'll go through that. 10 are an overcheck, and 20 of them are a recall, which are obviously the major issue ones that could cause engine seizure or injury or fatality, especially with like possibilities of swing arms cracking and things like that. That's quite scary, isn't it? On something that costs an absolute fortune. Wow. I'll say, I won't go through it all, but it's all going on about the old CEO in here, the controversy, Stuart Garner, the crook, who single-handedly destroyed Norton. It's not saying, I'll make that up, but that's his name. Oh, there's pensions involved, so it's not just obviously people who bought bikes, it's his workforce and everything. He obviously just, yeah. Apparently, whenever this was printed, whenever this article went out, he owed 15 million plus. he still owes it. And that's through pensions. Whew. Bad man, Stuart. Bad man. That's not very nice. Anyway, shall we start it? Okay then, so to start this thing, we have this contraption here, a key fob. You have to put that near this button here and press once. And we get Norton come up on the screen there. And there we go, look at that dash. That is absolutely stunning, isn't it, really? So yeah, we've got this button here, which I say press and hold it. That comes up with your modes. You've got the camera on the rear. You can scroll through DRL, whatever that is, trip, settings, race mode. Let's go back the other way. Oh, that's it. Race mode. Obviously got road mode, wet mode, which is in at the moment, I do believe. Ah, there we go. That'll be road mode. I guess that's race mode. That is insane. I've set a load of dogs off barking. That is truly insane. Honestly, that's hurting my ears. I've had a lot of bikes in here, revving them up and stuff. Do you know when it makes your ears like itch? It's that noisy. That is just unbelievable. I did warm it up a little bit before we started it that time. Wow. Yeah, I don't think that'll probably go through your strict MOT guys test with how loud that is. Obviously you can't hear it like I'm hearing it. It is that's popping windows out. That is unbelievable. There we go then, guys. I just thought I'd share that with you. It's such a beautiful bike. It really is. I just felt the need to share it. So it's pouring it down with rain at the minute, so we've got to wait for that rain to stop to push this back out of here, up the yard, into my van, to do that terrifying 5 miles of transporting this back to its home, to put it back in its bubble. Anyway, cheers for watching, guys. Take care.